welcome back to the 21 Bridges Languages podcast. And today I'm giving you the essential email template that every parent should send the moment their child starts struggling in Spanish. You know what? I find that parent teacher communication is so needed. It is a skill set, it's a viable skill set, and if more parents knew how to communicate with educators, I think there would be more successful outcomes for their students, and the parents could teach their students how to communicate with their own teachers. These are very important skill sets because the teacher or educator that's working with your student more than likely can clear up a lot of missing information that gets lost between school and the home life. So today I want to give you guys that email template. Clear communication early is the difference between a fixable situation and a semester long battle. Oh my gosh. The battle between parents and teachers is often a very juicy one as the tutor. Sometimes I try to sometimes I try to inform my parents of tactics they can use to communicate smoothly and act as partners with the teachers, especially the ones that they don't like. So, why parents have to initiate an email? So, in the private school environment, teachers often assume parents check grades weekly. The reason why I think this is an assumption is because the parent is the investor in the education. And if the investor is making a large investment into the education, the investor should pull the information that they need, and in this case, grades. But the thing is, parents are a little overwhelmed and intimidated by checking the grades via the online portal. This is where I sound like I'm 100 years old and I say, back in my day, we got report cards and progress notes mailed to our house. And we did, and I would rush home to try to get that mail before my parents did because I knew I got a grade lower than what was acceptable for my parents. So I would want to pull the progress report first so I could figure out how I was going to tell my parents about my mishappenings. But now everything's virtual, and so it forces parents to have to overcome their feeling overwhelmed and intimidation to just log in and check. It seems easy, but it's really hard, especially for mothers who are carrying the academic alone by themselves. And this is the same for any single parent home where it's a mother or a father or a guardian caregiver. It's hard to carry that load alone because you don't have that other person that you can bounce ideas off of. So it's hard. So let's get into what teachers would need from you when you reach out to them. First, teachers need 5 things. What is the problem your child is experiencing? And this is a big one because parents often assume the teacher should be able to tell them. Well, the teacher has like 15 to 20 students. They can give you an idea of what the general consensus of the students are struggling with, but your individual child's needs, they expect you to know that because you live with them and you should be able to communicate with your child. Now, that is their assumption. Number 2, the teacher wants to know, what do you notice at home? This is big. Again, the teachers have 20 plus students, sometimes more if it's public school, sometimes less if it's charter school. But they're expecting the parent to give them some intel so that they can see if that matches what they're experiencing from other students in class or your students specifically. What are your concerns? Number 3, what are your specific concerns as their parent? So this is not about what is going on at home. This is not a perspective of the student. This is from your perspective as the parent, seeing your child who's failing. What are your concerns? Are you afraid that they'll fail? Sometimes I talk to my parents and their concerns are not my concerns. And I learned that. Their parent concern is my child won't ever be fluent in Spanish. My concern is your child has a D on the last test. And I'm like, okay, we kind of have to brainstorm how we can get through this together. and figure out a plan for the child. Number 4, what support does your child respond to? This is really important because from the perspective of the educator, there are many students and they respond differently to different types of support. Some students, yes, do respond to group help, homework clubs. Some students respond better to one-on-one support. How does your child receive communication? Are they naturally already hard on themselves? This would take a softer approach from the educator. Or are they naturally the type that needs to be a little more motivated and spoken to a little more sternly and strictly? That's something that you as the parent could let the teacher know, because again, 20 students or more is a lot to kind of understand what one individual child needs. Number 5, what you're asking the teacher to clarify. Sometimes parents come to me and they're so mad at the teacher, and I'm the tutor, and I walk away thinking I don't even know what they want from the teacher and what they want from me as a tutor. So the 5 things really quick. First, what you need, what teachers need from you, the problem your child is experiencing, what you've noticed at home, what your concerns are as the parent, what support your child responds to, and what you're asking the teacher to clarify. So here's the email you can generally use. And I like this email structure because it greets the teacher and it names the problem and it gives a few questions to ask the teacher. So first, always greet the teacher with, I hope you're doing well. Even if you don't, say it, because it really lands well when there's a lot of emails the teacher's responding to. Get straight to the point. I'm reaching out because I've noticed my child is struggling in your class, and I want to get ahead before it gets worse. Now the teacher knows, okay, this is a proactive parent. Next, get into your questions. Now, these are a few questions you can ask the teacher, but you may come up with a few of your own. Question number 1, could you help me understand the specific areas my child is falling behind in? Example, vocabulary, grammar, listening, participation. Question 2, are there upcoming assignments, retakes, or office hours we should prioritize? This is a great one, because if your child has a tutor, the tutor wants to know upcoming assignments, retake on exams, and office hours. And that's it. Those are your questions. What are they need to focus on? And upcoming assignments. If you needed to throw in another one, any missing assignments. Now the teacher may say, check the portal. And so you need to verse yourself on how to check that portal. Last, always thank the teacher, and you want to say, I appreciate your partnership, to communicate that you're working with the teacher to make sure that your child's supported. And it's as simple as that. Say thank you and send it off. So the 3 things that your email should state is wishing them well and asking your questions. Your questions should focus on getting intel on what they're struggling with, what are the upcoming assignments, tests, retakes, and office hours. Because should you choose to provide your student with a tutor, those same questions a good tutor would want answered. So for those of you who would want a script, you can head over to 21bridges.us, check out our resource lab, and you can download the script to take to the teacher. Just as simple as that. You can also sign up for our newsletters where we send a lot of pointers out to parents and free resources to help you navigate this educational journey. So, for those of you who are interested in tutoring for your student, also head over to 21bridges.us or 21bridges.us, however you want to see that, and click the book call button where you can reach out to myself for a consultation on how to navigate this really crazy developmental time of your child's life. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next episode, we're going to be talking about the hidden academic pressures of private schools and how they impact Spanish learning. Until next time, adios, que tengan un buen día, and hasta pronto.